Did you ever wonder what happens to a podcast host when they don't have a guest to interview? You talk to yourself. That's what happens. You talk to yourself. Now, I've got my laptop on my lap, so if it jiggles a bit, just know that that makes this very authentic. What I'd like to talk to you about today is all of the different aspects of the feminine that we're not even aware of. There are a lot of little tiny spaces between what we understand and what we don't understand. It's like with words. You can have things that mean almost the same thing, but they don't. And the way that it sounds, the way that it comes across, the way that it has an emotional meaning makes a big, big difference in how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, and how what you're communicating comes across or doesn't. It wouldn't surprise me if most of the communication professionals in the world were women. We're very, very socialized to be very, very aware of what we say. And if it's landing well, and if we're keeping ourselves out of trouble, and if we're being seen as nice or think we're being seen as nice or likable or whatever, there's so much energy tied up in monitoring ourselves. And it's exhausting. It's not good. It's not a good way to be. It's not an empowering way to be. When you can feel that you are just allowed to be who you are and just say things and you can trust that you're going to say the right things because you know yourself enough to know that you're not going to be horrible, you're not really truly an idiot, even though your head might tell you that you are sometimes. But when you know that it's all going to be okay, because even if it's not okay, you're going to be able to address it. You're not going to die. Then you're cooking with gas. Then you're making your empowerment happen. And that is a big, big thing. Now, what does it mean? Words that seem almost the same. Well, the words aggressive and assertive. Aggressive is more violent. It is more about taking from somebody. Assertive is making sure that you speak what your truth is, that you stand in who you are. And that's really important. If you do not know who you are in terms of anything, how you feel about summertime, how you feel about how people treat you, how you feel about being in your integrity or not, know some things about yourself and know that they're important because they are. They give you clues to who you are and who you want to be. When you feel good, you're in a basic area where that's a good place for you. When you feel really bad, that's unnoticed. That's a notice to you. Something has to be different here. It might have to be my behavior. It might have to be the way I think. It might have to be the way I speak. It might have to be the way that I see my future. All of those questions that can seem really overwhelming because of two reasons that are main reasons that I can see. One is we don't trust ourselves to know things about ourselves. And the second is that we think we have to take on every single question at once. Again, it's another socialization of let me get all this stuff done. It's like a perfectionism Jones that we get into that we're like, I've got to make this be perfect. It's not true. Now, I went on to Chat GPT yesterday and we had a little chat. And I thought it was really cool because what I found out as a result of my question, my prompt, was the near differences between concepts that have to do with what the feminine really is. So I want to go through these with you. I think they're really, really good. So the feminine is about receptivity. It's about allowing and receiving. That can sound like taking abuse, but that's not the deal. Receptivity and allowing is not the same as passivity. So think about that. If I'm somebody, which I am, who wants to allow things in, who wants to allow the impact of people in, who wants to allow the goodness of spirit that's all around me to come in, I have to loosen my guard, don't I? I have to be willing to not be completely closed up. That doesn't mean that I don't have to have any boundaries, right? I don't have to be completely passive or allowing of bad behavior. No. The reason we think it might mean that instead is because we've been socialized to think of femininity as weakness. And it's not. Softness is not weakness. Softness is a surrender and an allowing, but it's not submission. It's not submission. All of the news that has come out lately about what we know about the whole Washington situation is so distressing. It's so triggering for a lot of people who've been sexually messed with. And it's needed. It needs to come out so that we can have a collective voice. Still, we have to understand also that what happened in these situations was never the fault of the woman. Not ever. There's nothing on earth that gives anybody the right to abuse another person for their own enjoyment, no matter what their age. Now, here's some more things that ChatGPT came up with me. This is interesting. Softness as embodiment, but not decoration. It's kind of confusing, isn't it? Softness as embodiment. So softness, the feminine really is like the fist in a velvet glove, right? Because our determination, there is nothing like our determination, you guys. Nothing. If you're messing with our children, watch out. We will step up and we will not back down. If you're messing with our friends, get out of the way. We have that ability. We also have the ability to not kill you in the process. Now, of course, if you're sitting there going, that's ridiculous, I know somebody who, blah, 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 there's always an exception to the rule. But we've been socialized not to cause harm. And while there are plenty of us who get very angry and do cause some kind of emotional harm, and sometimes even physical harm, the general social mode is to use our strength as determination if we use it at all. And we should. It also, ChatGPT said, softness as heart-centered courage, not avoidance. And then it says she dares to care. It's really interesting when it comes to compassion. People think that that's just too weak. You can't have compassion, you'll get used. They're afraid that compassion means that you are just going to lie down like a rug and let people walk all over you. That's not the feminine. That's not the divine feminine. That's the toxic feminine. And that's not who we are. Taking your internal sovereignty, saying, this is who I am because I choose this, is one of the biggest evolutionary switches that you can see right now. Saying, I am sovereign. I make the choices. I draw to me what is coming to me. And I'm not doing it because I want either side of that equation, like I'm the best thing in the entire world, or so I have to have only the best, or I'm horrible and therefore I'm drawing this awful situation to me. Understand that your energy is what changes your life. That's the base of it. Are there other things? Of course, there are many other things involved, including, can you connect? Can you reach out and connect with people? Can you actually let people in a little bit? It's very difficult in our society to feel safe to do that, and it's an inside game, and it's very much worth doing. Very, very much. Something else about feminine power is pausing. Pausing. Giving yourself that break, giving yourself that rest. The toxic masculine rules say that you should work yourself to death and not be happy till you get to whatever that goal is. That doesn't work. It doesn't work for anybody. And it especially doesn't work for women because we have no skin in this masculine game. Does that mean we don't have any masculine in us? No, that's not what it means. But the system, the corporate system, the entrepreneurial system, the way we see the entrepreneurial system is really based on the corporate. And we've taken in these messages of work super hard and be tough on yourself and don't be happy till you get there. We don't understand it. We can follow that path, we can follow those rules, but for me, it didn't work. It worked exactly the opposite and put me into bad situations. So I learned over time, over a great deal of time, that pushing harder and harder and harder was not the way to go. I needed to take breaks. I needed to do things because they were fun. And that's how I started doing my TikTok empowerment tarot 3 times a week. Because it's fun. And I've had like 5,000 likes in just, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? And people connecting with me, and it's pretty awesome. Dare to have some fun. Dare to lighten up. Dare to do that. Now, if you're on the other side of the spectrum and you're really good at not doing, then what you might want to think about is strength of a woman is perseverance. We've been beaten down in so many ways over the millennia, and we keep going. We just keep going. You have that kind of steel in you, that steel in that velvet glove. You have that. Feminine does not mean weak. It's going to take us a little while, I think, to reclaim it. We're just very used to seeing it and hearing that in TV shows and movies and books and everything else. But feminine, and I like this distinction that a friend of mine makes. I objected at the first part, but then I heard the second part and I went, oh my God. She said, there's the masculine and the feminine. And the masculine is strength. And the feminine is power. And this is the truth. The feminine is power, the power of energy, the power of emotion, the power of creativity, creating life, creating our lives. So think of that as you go through your weekend, through your week, and through your life. The masculine is strength. The feminine is power. The masculine is the forward movement. The feminine is the fuel. And if you are a fully rounded 360-degree person, you are both. I hope that this has been helpful for you. And if you want to be on my podcast, please let me know. I'd love to talk with you. Also, please do come. There's 2 things that I'm doing now. One is I have a Wednesday, 12 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard women's mastermind called Lead Like a Woman, where we get to discuss how we can come out of the social programming together. And then we also do a little bit of networking. That's Wednesdays, 12 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will drop that information in the explanation area here. And the other thing I do is that I'm going live on TikTok to do Empowerment Tarot. It's basically life coaching with the help of the tarot. And it is free. It is on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard and on Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. So come with your questions, come with your thoughts, and it'll be great to see you. I really appreciate you being a part of this. Please remember to subscribe and to like. That helps me out a great deal. It's free and I appreciate it. All right. Love and Moxie, and I'll see you later.